Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is in to throw first. Game on.
6 guys have made it to the final for the very first time this year on the European Tour. 2 of them have gone on and won one. Ricky Evans now makes it 7. Can he make it a 3rd first-time winner? Or can Ian White be the 3rd first-time winner? Because he's made a final before, but that was in the very early stages of the Euro Tour back in 2012 in Germany, when he lost out to his mate Adrian Lewis, whom he's beaten here tonight.
Yeah, but surely, Dan, these things only happen in events where Michael van Gerwen and Peter Wright don't bother to turn up.
43.
There are those who say that, aren't they? There are those who say that. Well, I tell you what, look at what Ian White has thrown over the course of this weekend. He beat the world number 2 Peter Wright. He beat the 2-time world champion Adrian Lewis. He beat Mervyn King, a former world master and a winner on the Euro Tour, of course.
140.
And the one unseeded player he faced was Aaron Monk, who put in the best display we've seen from him in ages. Averaged 100, and it still wasn't enough to topple the diamond.
Ricky Evans had to survive match darts in that quarter-final victory over Joe Cullen, who I'm sure will still be cursing himself after that match, but he looked comfortable for a man who was playing in such a significant semi-final against Richie Edhouse. White looking to claim the first leg on double top. Does that. And I was watching that semi-final upstairs with Stephen Bunting, and he said that he thinks that because of the pace of Ricky's throw, these things don't put him under pressure. They can't creep into it. It's not going to affect him.
He literally has no time to think about the enormity of what is happening, and it is enormous for Ricky Evans.
95.
Because he was only just inside the top 64 in the world. You've got to be there at the end of the year to keep hold of your tour card. But he wasn't in the European Championship. He wasn't in the World Grand Prix. He wasn't at the World Championship. But his run here is going to get him into all of those, at least provisionally. And if he wins this one game, he'll be in the Grand Slam as well.
140.
And we are talking not just 25 grand to the winner, but that is perhaps doubling that minimum, with the opportunities to get huge amounts more money. It could transform his career, his life, Ricky Evans.
It really, really could. This is a man who had to ask for Christmas Day off work in the 2014 World Championship when he beat Simon Whitlock, so he could prepare for his second round match on Boxing Day. Doesn't need to go for the ball, so for once, Rapid Ricky stops in his tracks. Yeah, just a couple of years ago, working in a petrol station.
Yep. But this year is a breakthrough year for Ricky Evans. He's been around a long while. He made a final 5 years ago on the tour. He was beaten by Brendan Dolan. 13 dart response from Rapid Ricky, the fastest player in the world. That day, against Brendan Dolan, he was beaten 6-3. But he beat Ian White 6-1 in the semi-final. It is the only time he has beaten Ian White. The 5 times since then, Ian White has emerged victorious, including once earlier this year when he won it 6-3.
96.
Before this tournament, Ricky Evans was priced up as a 250 to 1 no-hoper.
34.
Now he finds himself in the final.
55.
And as you said, it could turn out to be a day that shapes his darting destiny. And I think the same could be said for the career of Ian White, because 41. If Ian White wins a title on stage for the first time, who knows what he could do, even between now
59.
and January, with all the big titles, the build-up to the World Championship to play for.
He has made quarter-finals in big TV tournaments 7 times and never gone beyond that. And he beats himself up about it. He gets those questions asked, well, is he really a player who can do it on the stage? But look at his game. Over the course of this year, in the floor tournaments, he's picked up a couple of titles. And
140.
is only behind Rob Cross, Michael Van Gogh and Gary Anderson in the averages. He averages almost 97 over 70 games. And he's averaged more than that here this weekend on a big stage with big crowds.
Oh.
131, and you require 50.
Almost completing a sizable outshot. It might have just applied a little bit of pressure to his opponent. Evans to steal an early march.
The Dutch crowd have decided who they want to go on and claim the title. I've said before, never underestimate the power of a gimmick, and this walk-on that they absolutely adore. They've been doing that all day.
Listen, you've got to get up there and throw good darts, but speak to Wayne Mardle, speak to Peter Wright. They talk about this release of tension, of nerves by doing that kind of thing.
It's 14 180s for the tournament for the Diamond Ian White. He has hit almost half his darts at double, but those two misses there in that third leg could prove to be pivotal, even in this early stage.
140.
That is an 18th maximum for Rapid Ricky. It takes something for Ricky Evans to be
100.
in the final session of a Euro Tour and to keep on finding ways to win and to play better. This is a good start from Rapid Ricky Evans.
44. An
11 darter potentially coming in for the Diamond to break straight back.
Great first. Perfect second. And the break back is complete. Long race now, these European Tour finals. The couple of stage finals, big stage finals that Ian White has been involved in the past. One on the European Tour when he was thrashed by Adrian Lewis. And the one, of course, that everyone talks about, the news of the world, was best of three legs.
55.
And he was only beaten by the greatest player in history. Yeah, the two big stage finals he's been in, quite fittingly for Ian White, was lived in the shadow of all these great Stokey dart players. He's lost to his mates, Phil Taylor, the greatest from Stoke, Adrian Lewis, the two-time world champion from Stoke. But it is Stoke's #1 we're watching right now. And he'll go near the top 10 in the world again if he can complete the victory here.
Well, look, I know we like to use the European Tour as a guide to who might do well at the big majors. Ian White right now is top of the Players' Championship Order of Merit. That's where Rob Cross was this time last year.
Yeah, and he would shoot up with a victory to be the provisional third seed for the European Championship.
59.
You don't want to use the word dominance, but he is right up there with the best players in the world. And I'm not talking about the top 16 or even the top 10. We're talking about the top half a dozen.
And all the stats are there to back it up. You look at the floor tournaments, you can see the Dart Connect
92.
system. Ian White is right in the top 4 or 5 of all the stats. 180s averages.
100.
Is he going to get on top of Ricky Evans here by landing tops?
He shot on the
He is. He has.
Looks like it's Ricky to throw first. Game on.
Well, for all Ian
60.
White's consistency, and that is the key thing with Ian White, he's able to play at this level pretty much constantly. Ricky Evans, it's a little more up and down with him. That's why in previous years he'd have a day where he played brilliantly, made that final, of course. He won a development tour way back 6, 7 years ago now. He won a Challenge Tour a couple of years after that. He's made semi-finals on the Pro Tour as well, every now and again. But this year is the breakthrough year because he's doing stuff he's never done before. He's qualified for more Euro Tours than ever before. He's obviously put this run in here. On the Pro Tour, he had 3 consecutive tournaments where he made the quarterfinals. He'd never done that before. He's adding that consistency into his game, and he's learned how to win matches even when he's not throwing his top-level stuff. And his top level, as we saw in qualifying, 114 average. We saw him throw 111 average against Dave Chisnell on the Pro Tour earlier on this year as well, back in May. That was one of those 3 consecutive quarterfinals. He has got an amazing ceiling of performance.
97.
And if he can make it come out here in the final, well, even the Diamond, one of the best players in the world, is going to struggle to live with rapid Ricky Evans.
Well, it's the opposite, isn't it? You know how Ian White is going to play. You're never quite sure with Ricky. Not just before the match, but during it. 137 for White. Not going to go. I mean, it's a match we always mention. But Ricky, who wants tops, gets tops. Roared back in that classic Ali Pali match against Simon Whitlock. And he was gone. 2 sets and 2 legs down in a race to 3 on both counts. And stormed back with some incredible darts.
100.
It was fast, it was brilliant, and it bamboozled the big Aussie. He did not know what had hit him.
85.
And it's in part because it's so fast. That it's just relentless. Just taking blow after blow in quick succession.
And just to highlight Ricky's inconsistency, the next round, he was beaten 4-0 by Ian White's good mate, Jamie Caven.
Did we ever find out if he actually did get Christmas Day off? Because that might be the key to it.
Whatever happens in this final, whoever goes on to become the latest new winner on the European Tour, you could not wish it to happen to nicer people, because both of these two, they're essentially gigantic toddlers trapped inside the bodies of adults.
And both with a terrific talent. Combination finishing hasn't been a speciality of Ricky Evans in this tournament, but one here would see him, would have seen him, pinch a break of throw.
Could go double-double. Decides against it, gets double-8 instead. And does get double-8. A combination finish for the Diamond. Ian White gets his nose in front once more, halfway to the promised land. The land where Ian White is a big stage title winner in the PDC at 48 years young.
100.
One of the bounciest, childlike characters in darts, the Diamond, Ian White. You wouldn't know it when he's on stage, because it's business time. But we've seen him, haven't we? You know, he goes and does the dab on stage, because he learnt it from the kids. 96. He's always mucking about with his bags and his weird bits of darts merchandise. I've got an Ian Diamond White hat at home, 24. Which lights up. He loves all that.
$134. 60.
One thing that has helped elevate Ian White to the top of this sport
92. And you require
and being a
36.
contender in all the tournaments he plays in is his timing. Often you'll see those set-up shots just at the right time. And he gives himself that breathing space.
Game shot on the A flag.
And Ian White opens up a gap, a two-leg advantage. For the first time in this final, there is daylight between these two. And Ian White, the 14 darters and the 15 darters, the ones that you can just keep
60.
on banging in leg after leg after leg, that keeps his average round about that 98 mark, where he just lives.
40.
There you see, just shy of the 98 mark. And his first night, he can score a lot more than this, Ian White. He hits an enormous amount of 180s. You see it on the tour all the time.
100.
Both of these guys going along at pretty much their tournament averages. It's 91 for Ricky, 98 for Ian White.
100.
All the stats pointed to a diamond victory, but we don't know. Ricky Evans could just explode. We've seen it a couple of times this weekend. Just fires a 10 darter in from nowhere and starts hitting the treble 20 over and over again.
99.
Yeah, I know it's been a long and busy week for many people involved in this sport. Ricky Evans was one of the players that we saw heading to the airport about 3:30 in the morning last Monday. Turned up to play in the qualifiers that night, had the 114 average against Mark Dudbridge en route to
44.
reaching this
Ricky
tournament.
121.
Makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
89.
It certainly does. This is why he took up darts. This is why he came to the PDC, why he's been plugging away for years and years through the development tour, the challenge tour, now on the full tour. Because this is the dream. Playing in front of thousands of fans
135.
with a chance of glory, and Ricky Evans to get back in this final and close the gap to just one leg.
Ricky Evans.
He's not satisfied with just being here, just being there on that stage in the final. Just as it looked as if White was going to start to walk away, Evans hits back.
96.
The Diamond Ian White kicks off 180. When you hit him, he hits back.
59.
Nine titles in PDC darts for the Diamond Ian White, looking to reach double digits here in Maastricht.
121.
If he does win it as well, it would actually match his biggest payday. It was at the same World Championship we were talking about, where Evans beat Whitlock. Reached the quarterfinals and trousered £25,000 on that occasion.
81.
Yeah, lost out in a tight game to the eventual runner-up Peter Snakebite Wright, whom he beat. That's a beauty from Rapid Ricky. His 20th 180 of the weekend.
Does White look at two double tops? He tried and failed to find
60.
the target.
Ricky requires 45.
The crowd raised the noise levels. They want their man to draw level. But he can't do it.
And you require 40.
It wasn't far away, Ricky. But White is getting closer
Here, White, thank you.
to that elusive Euro Tour crown. Well, that's one way of trying to win.
Come on.
Just style it out, Ricky. Style it out, son.
That's what he's been doing all weekend. He does have this sort of infectious enthusiasm, Ricky Evans. He plays the game
81.
smiling. He loves being up there. He loves clowning about. He loves I remember when he beat Whitlock at the World Championship and he was dancing around. Look at that. This is really neat and tidy stuff. Nothing going longer than 6 visits to the board.
100.
That's Ian White. It's the computer of Ian White. The level is set on
100.
hard. Exactly 6 years to the day since Ian White featured
41.
in a Euro Tour final. That was his first and, until today, his only appearance in a final on the European Tour. 6 years of turning up. He's played more European Tour games than anybody else. In fact, he's lost more
100.
than anybody else because he's always beaten at some point in the tournament. That could change.
140 in your car, 101.
White to move even closer to the win. .82 remaining. Opted for the bullseye because he likes double 16.
61, Ricky Ducar, 139.
That is his established route, Ian White. I'm not sure if it was the right decision, but he does come back. Oh, that's not what you wanted, Ricky. He's left himself in the madhouse. Well, if he does get allowed back to the board, it gets a bit tricky for Ricky.
Make him think, Ricky. That's what he's doing. Make him think. Put him off. What a ploy.
30. Ricky, you require 2.
Is there a twist in the shark's tail?
Oh, Ricky!
In you require 10.
You cannot miss there.
But he left himself with no margin for error. And White can settle himself after wobbles on the outer ring. That won't do much to do that. He wants the same target.
No score, Ricky require 2.
All of a sudden, getting a little bit tense up there.
Oh,
No
the first
score.
one was so
In you
good.
require 10.
That's the rule. 1 up and then 1 in. The 1 up was perfect. And 1 in was in the single, Ricky.
Splits. Might be a wise move. Oh, double 2. And
8
that
score.
is a mile
Ricky
away.
require 2.
There have been a couple like that. We're in the final. Ian White, who's played so consistently all weekend, has had the worst leg of this tournament. It's just
In you require
got
2.
daft.
Dog and duck darts at the Dutch Darts Championship in the final. The Madhouse. Well, this could go on forever.
From the 11th flag.
Finally, Ian White
Ricky
pins
Ducar,
double 1.
Game on.
And it may be the most important double 1 of the Stoke #1's career.
100.
Evans still smiling. But Ian White, is he starting to get a sense of the occasion? Just saw him taking a big intake of breath before this visit. Because he's now so close,
81.
he can touch it.
He has not shown a trace of nerves all weekend, Ian White. Aaron Monk threw the kitchen sink at him. He got the job done.
85.
Mervyn King was swept aside with a 99 average. His great mate Adrian Lewis could do nothing to stop him. He was beaten 6-1, and Peter Wright took a 3-0 lead, and White just completely turned that game on its head.
80.
But all of a sudden, there are some wobbly darts.
96.
The tremor in the hand. And maybe not just the hand for Ian White.
$59.
Can Ricky take advantage? He can here, because that's another 180 to leave him on tops.
Well, Ian White is only one away, but this could turn. It really could.
45, Ricky requires 40.
The carefree Ricky Evans
Being shown the 12th leg.
lands
Ricky
double top.
Evans, 30
To their
legs in the
delight,
third
he's
class.
not quite sure what's going on. But Ian White is trying somehow to calm himself down.
This is an absolutely enormous leg. Ian White throwing for the title. But if he can't get this leg in the bag, Ricky Evans would then throw to level. And we could be going to a last leg decider. And if we did, having been 7-4 up, could Ian White hold it together then?
Especially with the way the crowd are going to get behind Ricky Evans if he rolls back. Surely now there is a seed of doubt
42.
in that man's mind.
There has to be. There has to be. This could be the most savage case of white line fever, where he has just played so consistently in every single game and right the way through until this point when he got within 501 points of the title.
60.
The darts have been stolen by rapid Ricky Evans.
60.
Just needs to gather himself for a visit or two.
96.
If he can do that, every chance that White wins.
134.
Stride to the oki for Ian White. Needs to stand and deliver. The timing of Ian White is impeccable.
That is superb. This would eclipse it.
133.
Almost clips the wire. And now White, he knows this is a huge moment in his career.
The diamond Ian White gets one dart. And is a big stage winner in PDC darts. Years and years and years. Ian White has been winning floor titles, playing world-class darts, and being cruelly denied in the latter stages of big stage tournaments. Finally, he gets over the line. An enormous moment for that man, Stokes #1, who is your champion here in Maastricht. Another new winner on the European Tour, the third this year. An incredible weekend for rapid Ricky Evans. You're going to be seeing loads more of him at big TV tournaments over the next few months by virtue of his performances here. But the diamond is in tears. Look how much that means to him.